I'm out here in the countryside of Wales, where it seems that just yesterday, children were out here enjoying life, spending time with their families and exploring the many different areas this country has to offer. In reality, it has been almost 2 years since that was the case. 31st of December, 2019, a new pandemic was recognised. This of the infamous Covid-19, a deadly illness that destroyed the working industry as we know it, and has had the majority of the population locked inside their houses as of March 2020. A small number of people haven't heard of the illness. It seems to haunt our everyday lives, and yet, despite it being everywhere you look, very few people know anything about it, and even less know the full extent we have been affected. Let's look at that, shall we? Currently in Wales, over 300,000 cases and 1,000 deaths has been recorded over the last 14 days. In spite of this, the country itself doesn't have any strong restrictions. Since August, it has been commonplace to go freely to gatherings and meet with people, something that would have seemed taboo at any point in the last 2 years. This is a common recurring theme in almost all parts of the world. In England, there are no current restriction guidelines and people are free to come and go as they please. Worldwide, many of the restrictions are falling loose as well. In places such as France, Denmark, Italy, and Greece, as long as you have been clearly tested and vaccinated, you are free to do as you please. In many other places, however, even in these countries, it is still required to wear face masks and social distance. But from what we can see, it seems that after these COVID regulations let up, we don't seem to be going into another quarantine anytime soon. I decided to interview a COVID survivor to discover what their views on the topic have been. How has COVID affected your life?
It's affected me more with the lockdowns and when they stopped me going to work and stuff, more so than the illness.
Did you always expect you would get the illness?
I did expect at some point that I would catch it eventually, as it was being spread around.
How do you feel about the effectiveness of the jabs?
I think having the jabs stopped me from getting really ill when I did catch it, because all I got was like a and then I was over it within a week.
Were there any major differences for you before you had the illness and after you survived it?
No, I don't notice any differences. I feel as healthy as I did before I had it and before I had the jabs.
How do you feel about getting out of isolation at this time?
Hopefully we won't go back into an isolation and we'll be able to move around freely in shops and at work and stuff.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
For all of last year, it was almost vital that everyone must stay inside. Because of this, one thing became prevalent. No matter how bad life situations were, life must go on. COVID made people look for other options. Many people have discovered the world of online shopping, as well as beginning to divulge into other forms of entertainment, social life, work and communication. Over the world, many would be stuck inside houses without much interaction for many months. Many people looked to other solutions for getting through day-to-day life, and so, since limited travel options were available, more people have tended to flock towards local holiday places to fulfill their travelling needs. Here in front of a local site owner to discuss how the past 2 years have affected them and their business. COVID-19 affected your business?
It's been a bit of a bonus because we've had more campers in Wales than we would have normally.
What has the downsides on your business been?
The lockdowns, obviously not being able to open when you want to, and the uncertainty of it all.
What has the upsides on your business been?
The government have allowed us to open a pop-up campsite for longer than we would have done normally.
What have you had to enforce COVID guidelines in your business?
Yes, but as we're a campsite, it's not so strict because everybody's outside and therefore it's fairly COVID safe anyway.
How has this year affected you more than last year?
No, not particularly.
What do you think the future of self-isolation is?
Well, we're quite rural, so we're quite isolated anyway, but I don't think they're going to keep doing it.
Okay, thank you for filming this with me.
Okay, thank you.
Do you think COVID will be dealt from here on out? Will the restrictions finally have a ceasefire, or will it only begin to sharpen up again over time? The options go either way, but from this angle, only time will be able to tell.